May is Stroke Awareness Month, and joining us now to tell us more about the signs, symptoms, and some of the statistics on strokes is a registered nurse from Southeast Health, Catherine Hunley. So thanks for coming on the show today.
Thanks for having me, Michael.
Of course. So obviously strokes are something that anybody can be a victim of. So just kind of tell the folks at home maybe some signs to look out for strokes, and then also just how common they are in our country.
Okay, so first of all, you're exactly right. It's really important to note that it can affect any age. So I never like to tell people that because you're young, for example, that you're not going to be potentially at risk for that. In America, every 30 seconds someone has a stroke, and every 3 minutes someone dies of a stroke. So it's very prevalent, and especially in the Southeast, we're known as the stroke belt. A lot of lifestyle risk factors, and then a lot of rural areas with decreased access to healthcare leads to a higher incidence of stroke in our area.
And what is it about the lifestyle that maybe can lead to a higher chance, like you said, of a stroke, and then what can you do to maybe prevent that?
Well, a lot of Southerners, we love our fried foods, so really important to watch your diet, healthy proteins, lean meats, fruits and vegetables, decrease sugar intake. Pretty much if you think about anything that's going to help the heart, it's going to also help the brain and prevent stroke. Also important to have physical activity regularly. That doesn't have to be in a gym. It can be getting out in your yard, going for a walk. We've got some great outdoor spaces in our area, so please use those. And then regular checkups with your physician. Watching blood pressure is one of the best things you can do. So check in with your physician annually to make sure that everything's checking out okay.
Okay, and what if you're somebody who maybe hasn't been able to get a checkup recently? Are there any signs that maybe someone can notice themselves going through that may lead to a stroke?
So we always emphasize the phrase be fast. So number one, we really want you to act fast whenever you notice these signs and symptoms, but each letter helps us identify our sign or symptom of stroke. So I'm just going to run through it. We've got starting with balance. So if you get up, you're suddenly having trouble walking, really feeling very uncoordinated, that can be a sign. E is for eyes or vision, so a sudden loss of vision is going to be a sign of stroke. F is face, so if you notice somebody has some facial droop or they smile and their smile is suddenly uneven. A stands for arm, but I want you to think arm and leg. Weakness with either one of those or with both could be a sign of a stroke. And it might be something as subtle as you're having trouble holding your fork or your spoon, or you're having trouble writing when you used to be able to do that with no problem. S is for speech, so we're going to watch out for either someone who can't speak, or when they're speaking, they're not making any sense, or they might not be able to understand your speech. And then the most important thing I'd like to get out today is the T, and that's time. Stroke treatment is very time sensitive, so I really don't want people to ignore those signs and symptoms. They need to act on them immediately, preferably by calling 911.
Gotcha. And we're just about out of time, but where could someone go online to Southeast Health's website, or just a good website, just to learn more about strokes, and then also how to get
Southeast Health, we've got some great resources for stroke. The American Heart Association and American Stroke Association and the Brain Attack Coalition all have great resources for the public.